Hey guys, welcome to my channel Sengupta's Creation. I'm Yona Sengupta, your host and your coach, and today we'll be starting with the question and answers of the chapter Reproduction in Animals, which is chapter number 9. So let us quickly go into it. Okay, so I hope you can see it. Yeah, so let me switch off my video so that it's easier for you all. Okay, so I will quickly start. But before that, we will be doing quick recap here. Now, when we talk about reproduction in animals, reproduction, there are first two modes of by which animals reproduce. So the first one is sexual reproduction and the second one is asexual reproduction. So the reproduction resulting from the So the reproduction resulting from the fusion of male and female gametes called the sexual reproduction, right? So this is called the sexual reproduction. Whereas you see, reproduction is very important as it ensures the continuation of similar kinds of individuals. Okay, similar kind of individuals generation after generation. So this is it, and reproduction is very essential for the continuation of the species. And whereas asexual reproduction is that in some what happens is some animals like hydra and microscopic organisms like ammobia, how do they reproduce? They reproduce by asexual reproduction. They reproduce by asexual reproduction. Okay, next is you can move on to the organs in female include like ovaries, oviducts and uterus. Then there is the reproductive organs in male include which the testes, sperms, ducts and penis. The ovary produces female gametes called the ova, and the testes provide male gametes called sperms, and the fusion of ovums and sperm is called fertilization. The fertilized egg is called a zygote. Fertilization that takes place inside the female body is called the internal fertilization, and this is observed in humans, beings and other animals such as hens, cows and dogs also. So fertilization that takes place outside the female body is called external fertilization, and this can be which is the asexual reproduction, and this um, is observed in frogs, fish, starfish, and etc. And the zygote divides repeatedly to give rise to an embryo, and the embryo gets embedded in the wall of the uterus for further development. And the stage of the embryo in which the it is the stage of the embryo. Okay, what is the stage of the embryo in which all the body parts are identifiable? It is the fetus or foetus, whatever you call it. Next is animals. Let's move on to the animals. Animals such as like human beings, cows and dogs, which give birth to young ones, are called viviparous animals. Remember the spelling viviparous. Viviparous animals, and animals such as like hen, frog, lizard and butterfly which lay eggs are called what? It's called oviparous animals. Remember the spelling? It is of Oviparous. And the transformation of the larva into adult through drastic changes in is called the metamorphosis. is called the metamorphosis, and the type of reproduction in which only a single parent is involved is called asexual reproduction, and in hydra new individual develop from birds, and this method of asexual reproduction is called budding, and Ammobia reproduces by dividing itself into two. So this type of asexual reproduction is called binary fission. Binary fission. So I hope you can see them. Yes, this is the thing. Now let's move on to the next one, which is the question and answers. Okay. So the first very question, what is the first question? So the first question here is explain the importance of reproduction in organisms. So what is the answer? So the answer will be reproduction is a vital phenomenon on this planet. Okay, and Earth, which is essential for existence and continuity of life and species on it and generation after generation. So you see that reproduction is truly very important. Reproduction is essential for the continuation of species. Okay, so let us write down the answer here. Okay, let's not write with this. Let's write with some different things. This is number one. Next is number two. Describe the process of fertilization in human beings. This is very important, very, very important. You should remember this. What is the process of fertilization in human beings? Let us read that the process of fertilization, sperms come in contact with an ova. Ova is the egg in the female, and the sperms are the egg in, you know, the hormones in uh, the men. And so one of the sperms may fuse with the egg, so the nuclei of the sperm and the egg fuse to form a single nucleus, resulting in the formation of a fertilized egg, which is called zygote, which is called which is called zygote. So in human beings, the fertilization takes place inside the female body, which is also known as the internal fertilization. So it is also known as the internal fertilization. Let us quickly write down. Okay. Number two. Okay. Next is we will quickly move on to the choose the appropriate answer. Okay. Let's see. What is the first question? The first question here is internal fertilization occurs. Internal fertilization occurs in which? You need to tell me in, is it in the internal fertilization occurs in a female body, or outside the female body, or in a male body, or outside the male body? It is, yes, it is in a female body. It is in a female body. So the answer quickly here is number one. Number one. Next is number B. A tadpole develops into an adult frog by the process of what? By the process of fertilization, metamorphosis, embedding, or budding? The answer is very easy. It is the metamorphosis. Okay, so can anyone tell me what happens in this metamorphosis? What happens? Okay, what is metamorphosis? The In the book also it is given that the transformation of the larva into an adult, through a, just a second, is adult is called, the drastic changes which it goes through is known as the metamorphosis. Easy. What happens? Eggs comes First the eggs comes, then the tadpole comes, and then it turns into a adult. So this is the changes. Okay, next question is, the number of nuclei present in a zygote. The number of nuclei present in a zygote is none, or one, or two, or four. Which one is it? Let us do it. It is obviously number one. Okay. Okay, just a second. Let me stop screen sharing for a moment. Here, I have a problem here. Okay, let me quickly share it. Share. Okay, so this is what I was telling you. Next is the true and false. Let us quickly do the true and false too. Okay, true and false. The first one is, oviparous animals give birth to the young ones. Is it true? Do they give? Absolutely, it is false. Just a second. It is false. Okay, next is, each sperm is a single cell. It is absolutely true. So in the first one, okay, you are asking that oviparous animals give birth to the young ones. This is false because it is viviparous. Just now also in the recap session we learned, isn't it, what it is called to be a viviparous and oviparous? Okay, again I'm telling you, animals such as human beings, cows, and dogs, which give birth to young ones, are called viviparous animals, and animals such as hen, frog, lizard, and butterfly, which lay eggs. The eggs is, remember, oviparous means eggs, laying eggs, and viviparous is the giving birth to the young ones. Now next is, together, fertilization takes place in a frog, and this is absolutely true. This is absolutely true. Next, D is, a new human individual develops from a cell called gamete. This is false. This is false. Okay, next is after false. It is egg. Number E, egg laid after fertilization is made up of a single cell. Number E, it is true. legs eggs which are laid after fertilization is made up of only single eggs, because it is an egg is one single egg. But if it was a young ones which was for you can say the viviporous animals like human beings, it would have been many cells, multiple cells. Okay, next is Ammobia reproduces by budding, and this is false. Okay, quickly tell me why it is false. Quickly tell me why it is false. That why Ammobia, then what does, how does Ammobia reproduce? Okay, let me tell you then. Ammobia is a single celled organism. Okay, so what happened? It begins the process of reproduction by the division of its nucleus into the two nuclei, and this is followed by the division of its body into two, each part receiving a nucleus. So what happens? Finally, two ammobae are produced from one parent Ammobia. So this is known as the binary fission. So this production in which an animal produces by dividing into two individuals is called binary fission. So it will not be by budding but by binary fission. Next, number G, fertilization is necessary even in asexual reproduction, which is false. Fertilization doesn't occur in asexual reproduction. Okay, next is binary fission is a method of asexual reproduction, and it is true. Budding, binary fission, which is just now I told that amoeba reproduces by binary fission. Next is a zygote is formed as a result of fertilization. So it is absolutely true. It has to first fertilize and then it will turn into a fetus or foetus. Next is an embryo is made up of a single cell, and this is false. Two cells. There are two cells which together goes. Okay. Next is, let's move on to number 5. Just a second. Let me give you this one. Okay. So I think I have here. So, what is the answer? The answer is that give two differences between a zygote and a fetus. So, the first difference between them is that a zygote is a single celled, that is, it contains only one cell, whereas fetus is a multi-cell, that is, it contains many cells. Number two is that it is formed by, I mean, zygote is formed by the fusion of male gamete or sperm and female gamete or ova, which is the egg. Whereas fetus, it is formed by the repeated division of the zygote. So these are the 2 points you can write. Okay. Okay. So next we'll move on to define asexual reproduction. Number 6, right? Okay, so asexual reproduction. So the mode of reproduction in which only one, a single parent is involved is called asexual reproduction. And in this type of reproduction, what happens? Sex cells are not produced and no fusion of gametes take place for the reproduction of zygote or offsprings, you can say. So asexual reproduction takes in, for example, uh, amoeba, hydra, yes, starfish, sponge, and many more. Okay, let me write it down. This is number 6, right? So you can read once if you have any questions. Okay, yes, sex cells. The gametes is the sex cells in our body. I'm rubbing some parts, but you need to write all of them. Okay, because what happens is I don't have space here. Okay, so this is the answer. Now the next part is describe two methods of asexual reproduction in animals. What are the two methods of this? Let's see. The first one is binary fission. So the binary fission. Okay, so the binary fission, in binary fission, what happens? A single parent cell is divided into two equal individual cells, as in Ammobia, right? What happens, it divides into two by the division of their bodies. Each of them gets one nucleus and develops into separate individual, and the figure, I will show you a figure right now, and it shows how binary fission occurs in amoeba, right? Give me a second so that I can write it down for you. This is 6, number 1 left, right? I'm doing it another. So this is the answer. So the next part of this question is that the second method of asexual reproduction in animals, so it is the budding. What happens in budding? The organism develops a bulge, which is called a bud, which further develops into an adult organism and separates itself from the parent body to lead an independent life. And this type of reproduction is shown in hydra. Okay, so again, sorry. Okay, so this is 6, number 2. Okay, so this is what I was telling you. Okay, but I need to clear this page because I have no space. Okay, so the next question you can see is that in which female reproductive organ does the embryo get embedded? You need to tell me this. I will wait for few seconds. So this is number 6. Let me. Okay, don't mind it here because I have no space. How I will. Okay, so this answer number. Okay, so number 7. The question again I'm reading: in which female reproductive organ does the embryo get embedded? It is very yes, I'm getting the answer as it is. It is number 7, uterus. Uterus. Next is what is metamorphosis? What is metamorphosis and give examples. So let us do it. What is metamorphosis? Let us see. Metamorphosis is the transformation of larva into an adult, involving sudden and abrupt changes in the body of an animal during the life cycle of an interbred or amphibian is called metamorphosis, and examples are, you can say, as um, frogs and butterflies. Okay, so this is number 8. Okay, next one is number 9. Number 9 is about the differentiate between internal fertilization and external fertilization, right? So the first one, I'm writing, you can see it. This is number 9. So, sorry. Okay. So, first is internal fertilization. Just read it out. So, this is the internal fertilization, and this is the external fertilization. So, the main thing is that the fusion, it is about the fusion that It is about the internal fusion, that the fusion of in internal fertilization. What happens is that the fusion of male and gamete or sperm and female gamete or ova occurs uh, inside the body of a female partner, such as human beings, birds, mammals. Whereas in the external fertilization, what happens is that the fusion of male gametes and female gametes take place outside the body of a female partner, such as in frog, fish, and starfish. Second point you can write is that the female partner lays either fertilized eggs or a fully grown young one. Whereas what happens in external fertilization, the female partner discharges unfertilized eggs. This is the second. The third you can write is offsprings have a high chance of survival, whereas in external fertilization, offsprings have a low chance of survival. Why? In internal fertilization, only one fetus is there, one uh, young ones is going to come, but in one egg is formed. But in external fertilization, there are many eggs formed outside the body, isn't it? So this is why the offsprings in external fertilization have a low chance of survival. So this is the answer. Okay, so this is it for today. After number 9, there is also, this is number 2 and number 3. I don't have space here, so I'm writing like this here. I don't even know what is happening. This is what I was talking about. Next, in the next place, what do we have? This is number 7, and this is number. Okay. Okay. Number 10. Okay, I have the answers written already, but still I write down here. So the first one is the across part. This is a cross, complete the crossword puzzle using the given hints. Okay, so the first one, what is it? The One is the process of the fusion of the gametes. Yes, absolutely correct. It is it is fertilization. Sorry, it is Z. Next is number 6 here. What will be? Tell me. Number 6 one is that the type of fertilization in a hen. It is internal. It is internal. Right? Next is number 7. The term used for bulges observed on the sides of the body of a hydra. It is birds. Next is number 8, I guess. Yes, number 8. Eggs are produced here. How are eggs produced? Eggs are produced by the ovary. Okay, eggs are produced by the ovary. Next is down, and okay, so the answer will be, the first one is number 2, which is sperms are produced in these male reproductive organs. So the answer will be testes. Next is number 3. Another term for in vitro fertilization. What will be it? It is a zygote. It is zygote. 3 down is a zygote. Next is number 4. These animals lay eggs. Now, many animals lay eggs. There are hen and many more examples. So, what animals? Is it oviparous or viviparous? The answer is very simple. It is oviparous. Oviparous. Next is number 5. What is number 5? A type of fission in Ammobia. What is the type of fission? It is binary. By binary fission, it happens. So I hope you can see this. These are the answers in total. And if you want to see in here, here is also the answer. Okay, so I hope you are done with it. You can take a look. I will show you from ekdam top. This is the recap session. Next, after recapitulation, here you get the questions. I am showing you just. Hmm. Okay, it is good. Okay, so see my cursor. The blue part. This blue part is the question number 1 of explain the this is the importance of reproduction in organisms. Next, this light blue color number 2, which is the process of fertilization in human beings. Then we directly come to number 3. Choose the correct option. The tick marks are the choose the correct options. Next is number 4. This is true and false. In pink it is written F T and T in, but in our exams you should write the full answer, like F is not will be corrected, it will be like false. F, if it is false you write FALSE, if it is true you write True. Okay, so after this we move on to number 5. How do we get number 5? Wait a minute. um here is number 5. Here is number 5. This is red part, this red part about the zygote, and the differences between two differences between zygote and Fuertas. Next is number 6. Read the question. It is the describe the sexual reproduction. Describe so the sexual reproduction is of number 6 is this one. I didn't have any place to write, so this is the thing. The mode of reproduction in which only single parent is involved is called sexual reproduction. Then it has a part question to describe the two methods of sexual reproduction. The two methods of asexual reproduction is the first one is a binary fission and then the budding. The binary fission is written in pink, you can see. Okay, and number 2, this is in the budding process. Next is number 7, in which female reproductive organ does the embryo get embedded? The answer is 7, which is the uterus. I hope you can see in yellow it is given. Next, you can see is what is metamorphosis. Give examples. This is the green part. See my cursor. This is the transformation of larva into the adult butterfly. Okay. Next is differentiate between internal fertilization and external fertilization. And there are 3 in total. It goes with you will make a column. What you will do for in first column you write internal fertilization, then you write external fertilization, and in the first point you write the fusion of male gamete or sperm, this part, and just beside it in the column of internal fertilization you will write the fusion of male gamete or female gamete takes place outside the body, and accordingly you go number 2 and 3 also. So now number 9 is also finished, and number 10 I wrote the answers here if you want to see it here. Okay, okay, so this is the overall answer. You can take a look. Okay, take a look. So this is the answer. Okay, let me show you again. You can pause the video and also write it down. Okay. Okay, so I hope it is done, and thank you for coming to my session. If you like my video, please like and subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that whenever I'm online, you can go with me. And thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.